Okay, so this is listening part A. We're going to basically start off by reviewing some of the vocabulary from yesterday, just quickly. Then we're going to do a class on listening part A. We'll do format, technique, and practice. First thing as usual, though, is just to make sure that you guys can see the correct document. Can everyone see this today?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So let's get started. Vocabulary from yesterday, all right? We'll start with that, and then I'll tell you what we're doing in the class. Does anyone remember any of the words from yesterday? What words do you remember from the vocab class?
Dropping.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, sorry. Dropping.
Go say that again.
Dropping.
Dropping, drooping, pronunciation.
Oh, sorry. Drooping.
No, okay. Drooping. What else, guys? These are all symptoms, aren't they? Drooping. One beginning with T.
Tingling.
Tingling. Okay, fantastic. So drooping, tingling, these are kind of symptoms. What else do you remember?
Off the shelf. Off the shelf.
Off the shelf. What does it mean, off the shelf?
Over the counter.
Over the counter, or like ready-made, right? Ready-made, made already. What about this? Could do with. What does that mean, guys? Could do with.
Yeah, it is need.
That is necessary.
Yeah, it's kind of like need, want. Yeah.
Need very much.
What about this one? Off by heart. Does anyone remember from yesterday? Off by heart.
Memory, memorizing.
Memory.
Memorized it. Okay, what about this one?
Memorize.
Hype.
Boost.
Hype.
Positive
Intensive publicity.
Go on, go on.
Pub.
Oh, you're just cutting out there. Hype is, if I said something like this, don't believe the hype. What does that mean, guys? Don't believe the hype.
rumor.
It can be it's a little bit like rumor. Anyone else? No?
Yes, not true person, right person.
Extravagant.
Extravagant, yeah. It's almost like rumors about how good something is. You know what I mean? Like people are looking forward to something, they're getting excited about it. Will it be as good as people think? Okay. What about if I'm anxious or fearful about something? Anxious or fearful? Put your mic.
Apprehensive.
Apprehensive. Good. This is all vocabulary that Lawrence did with you yesterday. I'll be testing you every day this week. Okay. What about this one? Course of action. What does that mean? Course of action.
Strategy or plan. Something like that.
Course of action.
Changing in medication.
Order to achieve a goal.
I'm just looking at
achieve a goal.
Yeah. Become progressively. What about this one, guys? Become progressively. I'm just going to mute you all. Become progressively worse. Who knows that one?
Deteriorate.
Yeah, deteriorate. Okay. Last one, and then tomorrow I'm going to test you for longer tomorrow, okay? This is the last one, though. This word means when something is logical and consistent.
Coherence.
Yeah, good.
Coherence.
So guys, yes, go on, question.
I wasn't there yesterday. Course of action is a bad thing?
It could be neutral, really. It's just a plan for what we're going to do in the future. So, for example, for you, Betul, you want to pass the exam.
Yeah.
And we can create a course of action for you, right? What school are you?
Okay, it's like a goal and my purpose.
The steps.
Yeah,
the
okay.
Future plan. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Now, guys, review this vocab. I'm going to be reviewing with you again tomorrow. Okay, so here's the vocab. It's on the website. All right. That's just a warm-up, though. Let's start the class. Today, we're focusing on listening part A. We're going to do three things as usual. We'll do format. We'll do technique. Ask me questions, guys. Interrupt me if you want and ask me questions. But we'll also do some practice and we'll analyze the answers as well. So let's start with format. I want to do format in a bit more of an interactive way today. So I'm going to do it as a kind of a quiz. Okay. So let's just start off with this word itself. What does it mean, format? Goche, could you say hello, please?
Hello.
And what does format mean?
Specific shape.
Shape. So if I said format of listening part A, what does that mean? The shape?
How can I explain?
Can anyone help her, guys? It means
Structure.
what the exam is like, or structure, the structure of the exam. Okay, so how many questions are there? How long is it? All that kind of stuff. All right. What I want you guys to do today is you're going to go into groups. Okay. And I'm going to put some questions on the board. Simple questions that every serious student of OET should know. Okay. In your groups, I want you to discuss the answers to these questions. All right. The first question is this. You're going to answer that question in your groups. Please join the groups now. And you will see this on your screen. I want you to discuss in groups, please. Off you go. Okay, I'll put this on here, task. Discuss in groups. It's in purple. Okay, so that I'm going to let these guys discuss the basic topics. I'm going to stay here. I'm sharing my screen into the class now. So those guys are all going into groups. If you're watching this video, you can also do this yourself, all right? There are different questions to be asked and answered. Think about these. Off you go.
Hello.
Hello there. Hi there, can I help you?
Yes, hello.
Hey, how can I help?
Yes, now I joined. Sorry.
Oh, you just joined. Well, it's okay. You can go into the
No,
group.
but I was there in room 8. Suddenly it's he
right.
cut off.
Strange. Well,
Yes.
I cut off. Okay, I cut off because you're going into a group. You're separate from me. Okay.
No,
So-
I understand, but sorry, I wasn't there, so I couldn't join. So that's why it automatically I came back. I don't know.
Oh, right. Strange. Okay. Well, we can
Yes.
try again. We can try again, Muhiba. Can I
Yes,
ask you?
thank you.
Can you leave the room and rejoin Zoom, and then I will put you in the
Yes.
room again? Okay.
Definitely.
No worries.
Hello, sir. I am not going home.
Okay, no worries. So what room are you? Yeah, if I can ask you to leave Zoom and then return, we'll put you in the room again. Okay.
Okay.
No problem. Just so leave and then immediately return. Okay. Hopefully that'll work for you, Jemanditha. Okay, so anyone watching, if you are watching on YouTube, this is just quick group exercise. Hey, Nana.
Hey. Yes, I did tell everything to guys. We discussed already.
You just gave them all the answers.
Yes, yeah, of course, because I did take 5 times. What did you
Brilliant.
expect?
No, it's, it's okay.
And
Right, I'm gonna-
finally, my listening, obviously in part A, it's minimum 20, 90, not 20 you need.
There you go.
Because I got 370 in listening, and I think I answered 20 answers. 20, yes, I had 20 out of 24. So, and I got 370. So it's for sure you need minimum 20.
And at least, you know, I know it's frustrating, but you know, if you were studying IELTS, I don't know how useful IELTS is, you know, with the listening. But at least with OET, your medical context listening is improving. You know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah.
with IELTS, the context is completely not very useful sometimes.
Yeah.
Go on.
I took IELTS very long time ago when I'm maybe 17, 18 years ago. I tried. So
I used to teach as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just think everyone's back now.
Full of experience. Nana is full of experience.
Oh yes, I'm afraid so.
Okay, so guys, can you all say hello? Can you hear me? Is it all clear?
Yes, you're all.
Yes.
Yeah, obviously, but everyone else as well?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so, you know, Nana was just joking, saying she knows all these, and, you know, experienced students of OET will know all of this, but it's very important that we all know this clearly, okay? So anyone who's new, we're just reviewing, really. Emal, how many questions are there in OET Listening Part A?
In Part A, totally we have 42 questions.
Part A?
Part A, 24 questions.
24, yeah. Does everyone agree with Emal? It is 24, right? It's not 20, right? That's the reading, okay? Microphones off, please. Okay, what about Anka? If you could say hello, or Alice. What about Renuka as well? How many questions in? Oops, this is the same thing.
12 questions.
Yeah.
12 each.
How many questions in part A? Sorry, this is what you beg your pardon, Emal. So you're interpreting. Let me put this here. Are there in total? Okay, so I get what you're saying now, Emal. So 42 here, and we can say 24 here.
24.
Okay, so how many audio clips are there?
2 in part A.
Good. And this is a question for everyone now. How many questions per clip?
12. 12.
Well, this is easy. What situation will you listen to? A bit more difficult now. Ree, could you say hello, Ree or Radha? What situation are we going to listen to in the listening part A?
It's initial consultation.
So that's Mary. Okay, so Mary, go on. It's an initial consultation. Is it always initial consultation?
Usually.
I was told in my training that it'll be a consultation with a GP or who?
Nurse, it can be nurse. Any professional can be. Any
Yeah,
professional.
health professional.
Any professionals.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
Specialist can be.
because it was last time it was even physio even. It's for specialist. It will be
I was
specialist.
told in my training it was GP or specialist. I suppose it's possible maybe they will change that. It could be anyone, but it is always going to be a consultation, okay, as Mary says, okay. What question style is it, please? Shahir, can you put your microphone on, please? This should be very quick. Abdul Muiz, what's the style?
Yes, I can hear, sir. Can you repeat your question, sir?
What question style is it? Is it multiple choice questions, or what are we talking about here?
One word answer.
Can anyone help him? It's not-
Yes, gut feeling.
Gut feeling, filling blanks.
Someone said one word answer. No, it can be more than one word. Can be more than one word, okay? But we're filling in the blanks. It's gap fill, okay? Number 7, Armel, can you say hello? Or Muhiba? Or Nitesh?
Hello.
Okay,
Hello.
it's a bit more difficult, this. Hello. So what type of listening are they testing?
Listening for details.
Details.
Excellent. So listening for details. Now it's getting a bit more tricky though. Alice, can you say hello? Or could I speak to Val or Wasala? Could you say hello?
Yes.
What is a good score in your opinion? Yeah.
I think 20 overall probably will be good, but we can.
What do we think, guys? 20? Good score?
From 2022. 20.
I want to say maybe
Yes.
21, 22.
22.
Yeah. I mean, we should ask Nana really. Nana, what's a good score?
I think I got 20 or 19.
Okay.
Oh no.
You passed, right?
And I've got 370. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can even say 20 here. Okay.
Yeah, 20 probably.
And Nana, how much time do you have at the end to check your answers?
2 minutes.
Is that right, guys? Is she right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes.
2 minutes at the end for the whole test. Exactly. Thank you. Who said that for the whole test?
Val.
Thank you, Val. So this is the situation. If you're new to OET, right, these are the basic facts that you need to know them really, okay? In terms of what the exam looks like, I'll show you now. The exam looks like this. Oops. Here's an example of what the test looks like. And you need to score highly. You need to get minimum 20, 21, all right? So with that in mind, let's talk about techniques, guys. Let's talk about how we do this. I want to speak to Wasala. Can you say hello, Wasala? And we'll also talk to Nana and more experienced people as well. But Wasala, can you say hello?
Hello. Hello.
Have you done the
Yes,
exam very much?
No, I haven't. And
But you tried this before, right? You tried this.
yeah.
Okay, so what are the two techniques that we always use? There could be more actually, really, but give me a technique. What should I do here? Just Wasala. Should.
Yes. What should you do?
Not sure, Wasala?
Yes. First, read the question.
How much time do I have to do that?
Sorry?
Can anyone help? How much time do I have to read the questions? Can anyone help her? Guys, how much time do we have?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
So Wasala, right? In that time,
Yes.
do you look at the blanks? Do you look here?
Yeah.
You do, don't you? Look, everyone does the same thing, okay? When we're looking here, what are we trying to do, guys?
Anticipate to
Prediction.
Categorization.
Predict.
Okay. But we're not going to focus on the.
We're going to predict.
Focus.
We're going to try to predict what can come up.
Exactly. Okay. And I'll talk about this more later. Okay, guys. I'll talk about this later on in the class. Most students, they're doing the same thing. They're predicting, and I will talk about what you should predict. Okay. But the other thing is very, very simple. Alice or Aisha, could you say hello?
Hello.
Hey, Alice. Okay. So there's two techniques. Okay. One of them is predicting. Okay. Do you know the other technique? Very simple technique.
I think it's guess the category of the answer.
That's definitely right. That's what we mean by predict, actually. Okay. So predict the category. Okay. We'll talk about that. But there's something else. Okay. Can anyone help her? What's the other thing?
Signposting.
Anticipation.
Signpost.
And this is very, very obvious, but I think a lot of people, if you need to think carefully about this, okay? So we know what a signpost is. Emma, could you tell us what is a signpost? Very simple, very, very simple.
Yeah, the word which lead us to the answer. For example, here the medical history, general symptoms like that. All of these are the signposts.
So here, this is a signpost, yeah?
Yes.
Medical history, he's saying. Yeah, when I hear, well, let's focus on something more simple. I agree that is a signpost. Let's focus, though, on hypertension, okay? So, Abdullah, could you say hello? I know you know this, Abdullah, but I just want to get some quick answers. How does this help me? How does the word hypertension help me? Abdullah, or if we could have Raisa, Zainab?
Yes, it's a category, so I'll be looking for something.
How does hypertension help me? Definitely categories, but hypertension is a signpost, right? So how is it helping me as a signpost? You know what I mean? Nana, you want to help him out?
Yes. Doctor might ask, okay, how long did you have high blood pressure? So it can be hypertension. So you're looking for synonym. It will be recently worsened. Or so Sarah might say, "Oh, my blood pressure, I don't know, recently went up or something." So it more, it not necessarily will be hypertension set.
True. This is a very good point, actually. I often forget to emphasize this. Sometimes it's going to be a synonym or a paraphrase, okay? But when we realize they're talking about hypertension, that tells us, guys, everyone, it tells us.
Are we on the right?
It's coming.
It tells me where I am, right?
Follow.
Yeah, and what will come.
Yeah.
Right? This is a very, very simple idea. But when I hear hypertension or a synonym of hypertension, I know that question 1 is coming next.
They guide you.
Yeah.
Not lose your track.
And Val, right? You can lose, it's possible to lose track, isn't it? So
very easily.
They're very good because you can think, okay, for example, Val here, where is my signpost here?
It is stomach area.
Maybe stomach area would be very good. Yeah.
Weight gain was.
Weight gain. So we know when we hear this or a synonym of this, what question is coming next, guys? Question number
2.
The embarrassing stuff. What is embarrassing?
Now, this is very, very obvious, but I think something that I always like to remind people. One second, I'll take questions in a second. Happy to take questions. But one thing I always like to remind people is you can have good signposts and you can have bad signposts, right? Not everyone thinks about that clearly. Hypertension is a very good signpost. Stomach error is a very good signpost, okay? But let me speak to one of you. For example, Mike or Mevlut. Could you say hello?
Hello.
Is that Mevlut?
Yes, it's Mevlut.
Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of a bad signpost. Why is corticosteroid here a bad signpost?
Because it's so close to answer.
Yeah. Does it tell me the answer is coming? Coming next?
Maybe, but it's risky because it's.
This word could be after
answer. Yeah.
Right. So I'm not saying these words are not relevant. They are relevant, right? You should listen for 3 years and you are listening for that, but don't rely on that to tell you where you are, because when you hear that, it could be already the answer has been given.
Sorry, Alan, especially because they paraphrase so much.
Exactly.
Corticosteroids, say the medication name or.
Right, yeah. Exactly. So we can make a paraphrase now where corticosteroid is after the answer, right? So you might say, let's say the answer here, guys, is asthma, right? So she could say, well, asthma is what I had some treatment for. It was corticosteroids. Do you see what I mean, guys? If I'm waiting for corticosteroids, I've missed the answer. Okay, so there are good signposts and there are bad signposts. Is that clear for everyone here?
Yes.
It's really a very simple idea, but I've been teaching OET so long, I think this is actually a very useful idea, okay? So when you're listening, guys, you've got to be thinking, okay, hypertension, good, corticosteroid, bad. Like, I can listen for it, but it's not going to tell me what is coming next. Okay, it will not tell me what will come. Now, in today's class, we'll do a practice test and I'll show you the signposts. And you guys, you can tell me if it's useful or not useful, right? But I think when you're preparing in your 30 seconds, you should be thinking about signposts. Also, after the 30 seconds, think about signposts always. Even while you are listening, you can think about signposts. It tells you where you are. Okay. I'm now going to move on to talk about categories. Does anyone have any questions about signposting, though, quickly before we move on? It's quite clear, isn't it? And it's sometimes I feel like this is such a simple idea, but I think it's very useful. Okay, so let's look at categories then, because categories is much more difficult, I think. And sometimes people tell me this is too difficult. But for me, I mean, Nana, I don't know what you think, Nana, but it's not that hard once you practice a little bit. Categories, right? What would you say, Nana? Do you ever have difficulty predicting categories? Really?
Probably not. But
maybe
when you,
1 time out of 10.
Maybe when you're there, you just think sometimes you get lost, don't you? It's just because you're worried, because you're anxious. It's all together, isn't it?
Well, exactly. The exam stress can sometimes get to you.
Yeah.
let's talk about the categories then, guys. So this is a very, very useful idea in many parts of OET. Okay, so predicting categories. And I'm going to sort of start by getting you guys to think about something. I want you guys to think about this person here. Who is this? Is it a nurse or a doctor? Everyone.
Probably nurse.
We don't know.
Maybe we don't know, a doctor. Okay. It doesn't really matter, does it? What is she doing?
History.
Taking a history.
Okay.
She's gathering information.
Well, yeah, exactly. So she'll be doing her information gathering as well, writing the things down. Good point, actually. I just want to make this point to you guys, though. When we listen, we don't listen for no reason. You know what I mean? A nurse wants, or a doctor wants, very specific things. They're not going to write down favorite rock band, probably, right? They're not going to write down Pink Floyd, right? That's not something we're going to write down if we're a doctor or a nurse, usually, right? Instead, what categories do medical professionals always focus on? What do you want to know about? Symptoms, right?
Symptoms and conditions.
Conditions.
Symptoms, conditions.
There we go. Get the idea.
Medication.
I'm going to have to speak to one person. Let's test one person to see if they can predict me. So Ezgi or Eli, sorry, beg your pardon, or Farid. Symptoms, conditions, what else? Goche, Helen, we're listening for symptoms, we're listening for conditions. Can you put your
Description.
Description of. Okay, I'll talk about that one at the end. Anything else? Symptoms,
Medication. Time. Medication. And
test.
family social background.
Okay, social background, family history, possibly. Kabila, can you say hello, Kabila? Give me another one.
Yeah. Hello.
What else? Time.
Recording.
Say again.
Recording.
Oh,
Recording.
What do you mean, Kabila, by recording? Sorry, it's a bit noisy. Recording, that's what she's doing, but she's listening for specific categories, okay? Let me test someone else. You can come back as well if you want, Kabila, but how about Karuna, Catalin, Lisa?
Hi,
what else?
Past history. Hello, family history.
Some of you are saying family history. That's too general, right? I agree, yes, they are, but specifically inside the family history, symptoms, conditions, medications, tests, time of things. What else? Come on. Allergies. That would be condition. That would be condition.
Experience.
Equipment. Diet.
Equipment. There we go. Equipment. What else?
Allergies.
Okay. Actions.
Allergies.
Someone is saying allergies, but when I say allergies, I'm thinking condition. That's a condition to have an allergy. Okay. So symptoms. Can I ask to speak to Mary, please, or Anka? Could you guys put your microphones on?
Diet.
Kabbalah as well. Okay. Someone said diet. I'll take diet. Mary, is there any more? There's only about 10 or 11.
Jobs. Usually they ask about jobs.
Jobs. What else? If I have an accident, car accident, what will I get on my body?
Injury.
Injury.
Description of.
Anka.
Yeah.
Someone said description of. Who said that?
Me.
Yeah, and someone said it at the start. Okay, this is an important one. Okay, description of. So a description of. What is that? Anka, can you tell me what do we mean by description of?
Yeah, can describe the symptoms, condition, medication, everything like.
So, for example, you might say, I have a terrible headache. What is the description word there?
Symptoms.
I have a terrible headache. What word is describing the headache?
Terrible.
Terrible. How about feeling?
I have a painful rash. What word is describing the symptom?
Pain.
Painful.
Right? What type of words are we listening for when we listen for description?
Adjectives.
It's usually adjectives. Okay, sometimes maybe even adverb is possible, but usually adjectives. Okay. So if you're a nurse or a doctor, you're listening for these things, and OET are testing these things in listening part A. They're testing. What are they testing, guys, again? What did we say they were testing? They're testing listening for
Details.
Details.
Okay. When we listen for details, we're listening for details inside specific categories, relevant categories. Okay. And this is the same for any profession. For example, MR or anchor or Val. Imagine we took, I always use example, but let's say a car mechanic.
Right.
What categories will he listen for when he's listening to a customer?
For
You can listen.
problems with engine
issues. Yeah. What else?
issues, tires,
noises, maybe
noises,
tires. What else? What would a car mechanic listen for, guys? Think about it.
Leakage.
Brakes.
Yeah, all of these things, many things. Okay, let's change it. You get the idea now. Imagine you're a, let's have another person, policeman. Okay, what does a policeman listen for when he's listening?
Description.
Missing report.
Times, maybe missing, something missing.
License.
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 Yes.
object missing.
Murders. Okay.
Different excuse of.
Exactly. Now, guys, all I'm saying is that this is a very, very basic, fundamental part of human listening. When you are a different profession, you're listening for the categories of information that are relevant to you and your job. These categories are very, very useful when it comes to OET Listening Part A. Okay, let me show you an example, right? So, for example, if we see, sorry about my terrible typing, if we see she was prescribed, what is it going to be in the gap in the blank here, guys? It's
Medicine.
Of course, it's medication. Okay, what about this? She cannot blank.
Body part.
Action.
Up the stairs. Actions. Okay. She has a lump on her
Body part.
Body part.
She reported a 2-week history of
Symptoms.
Right? So you get the idea. These categories, usually these categories here, more or less, you can predict when it comes to blanks. Let's have a look at some examples now. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Can everyone see this here? I know this is a bit small.
Yes.
Is it okay? Is it too small?
Yeah, it's okay. We can see.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to stop talking. I know maybe I'm talking too much. I'll stop now. You guys just think about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What categories of information can we predict for these, right? These categories here, what category of information can we predict? I'm going to give you guys 1 or 2 minutes starting now. Please do not type anything on the chat. Just think. One minute. I'm going to nominate specific people to try and give me the answers. So a little bit more time. Just think about this. What category of information is in the blanks here? Okay, let's try and get some random people to give me the answers here. So let's start off with Sulaiman. Could you say hello, sir? Or Suthan?
Hello, Alan.
So Mrs. Trouble has blank her toes.
Has trouble walking with.
So you're saying it could be actions.
Actions, yes.
It's possible it could be actions. What else could it be, guys?
Condition.
Symptom.
Condition.
Maybe
I made this one more. I wanted to make this more difficult. So microphones off, please. Okay. So that could be actions, or it could be What if I put this in her toes now? What will it be?
Body
as
Condition.
Condition.
now it's got to be condition, right? But here, trouble blank in her toes, that could be action. I think action is a good idea here. Okay. Microphones off, please, guys, until I say your name. Please don't make a lot of noise if that's okay. Shah Jahan, Ruida, you say hello. Blank can be seen in back of throat. What is this? Symptom? What is this? I think this is a symptom like a rash or a lump, right? A rash or a lump. So we've got actions, we've got symptoms, referred for further, Ruida, Ranuka, right?
Investigation. Investigation. Tests.
Tests.
Action.
Right, tests. Okay, so let me put these in. We've got tests here. This could be action. This one can be blank can be seen. Let's say symptom. Okay. What about Hussein? Significant blank on arms.
Symptoms, maybe.
Yeah, symptoms. It's easy, Hussein. You're exactly right. Okay. Reports blank vision. Okay. Rada. Pratiksha.
Condition.
The condition is here. What is this? Anyone help her?
Body
Adjective.
Description of vision.
And this is so useful in the exam because when you realize it's a description, you can listen for the description
Adjective.
of the vision. You can say, what is her vision like? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it blurry? Right? Okay, frequent blank. What will that be? Painful.
Adverb. Frequency adverb.
Don't think about grammar too much here. What is it?
Time.
Condition.
Time or
Symptom
frequency.
or condition, yeah, symptom or condition, okay. Frequent, that means it's happening often. It's going to be a condition or a symptom. Blank following football match.
Injury.
Yeah, injury, exactly. And this is not here. I should put it here. Oh, yes, it is. Injury. Yeah, sorry. GP suspects, everyone. GP
Condition.
Condition.
Oh.
Diagnosis.
Diagnosis, yeah.
What do we diagnose? We diagnose conditions.
Condition.
Or injuries, I suppose. Right?
Condition.
Lasted for?
Time.
Period. Time.
It's going to be some time. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Length of time.
Now, I always choose this one because bruising caused by is a problematic one. Parmila, could you say hello? Or Muslime?
Hello.
Hello.
This one is, there's a big problem with this one. What's the problem with this?
Action, I think.
Equipment.
It could be equipment, could be action, could be person, could be many things. Okay. Could be a person, right? Could be equipment, could be so many.
Injury.
Fall. Could be a fall.
Yeah, exactly, guys. So don't worry in the exam. Don't worry when you see this. Sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes it's not possible to get the category. Okay. But in general, predicting the category is how you can do very well in listening part A. Okay. You're predicting the categories and you're using signposting. Let's look at a real example now. Real example. Can everyone see this? Sarah Croft. Can you all see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Mary, blank on face. What's that going to be? Blank on face.
Basic symptoms.
Symptom like a lump or something, right? Visible blank between shoulders. Everyone. Visible blank between shoulders.
Description of symptom.
Description of the symptom. Excessive and constant.
Condition.
Or it could be condition. It could be a condition as well. Okay, periods are
Time.
Length of time.
Time.
frequent, all that kind of thing. Now, tendency to. Do we know this one?
Body part.
No, that's hard.
Condition.
No.
Action. Val, action, maybe action.
Maybe action.
Yeah. We don't.
Condition.
Maybe
I think
Abdullah.
it says symptoms. It should be symptoms.
You
Symptoms.
use the subheadings to guide you. Okay, Abdullah, wounds slow to heal, blank on thighs. It's so easy. Blank on thighs.
Symptoms, yeah.
Symptoms, okay. So face appears red in color, blank area on neck.
Description.
I think it's a description
of something.
because it's describing the neck, isn't it?
It is. The area.
So the answer will be red area, painful area, right? It's a description of something. Recent development of, everyone.
Condition.
Condition.
Okay, so look, taking these two simple, very simple techniques, we're now going to do a test, a real test, okay? And it's going to be Sandra